ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, they, thems, z's, zers, and of course Apache helicopters.
Oh, we can't
Everyone,
forget the Apache helicopters.
of course we can't forget the Apache helicopters. Because according to Maduro, Pinochet just won in Argentina. Ladies and gentlemen, a libertarian has finally won something big.
Let's go. Let's go.
What do you got for that?
I got the horns. I got the horns. We got more. We got so many sound effects.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, we're here to celebrate tonight.
It's a celebration.
Just don't give us some depressing
Cheers.
celebration.
Cheers, Mitch. Jack.
Cheers. We're sticking to core values tonight. Rob,
Yeah,
what
core values.
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking some Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey and a Coke. Jack and Coke. Simple. It's sweet. I feel like it's Thanksgiving weekend. My birthday's coming up. Javier Milei just won the presidential seat in Argentina. We're having a good time tonight.
I'm honestly shocked. I never thought I at the very least, I thought that if we'd ever see this day, we'd both be really old.
Yeah, I mean the polls. He just garnered a lot of momentum, and a lot of people were fed up with the hyperinflation and the socialism, and he said, you know what, all of this is shit. Socialists are shit. Mierda, because they are. They're like, it boiled over to U.S. libertarian Twitter and all my feeds. We were watching this guy for like months and months, even when the polls were saying he was neck and neck or he was tied. Obviously, the polls were mierda as well. Well, what are you drinking?
Yeah, I'm drinking Modelo. I know Mexican beer, not exactly the most south of the border, but as close as I can get.
That's
on
close.
short notice. But yeah, no, man. Like, if anything, I see this as a proof of concept. This is kind of what we've been doing with the Mises Caucus, just trying to be direct, like blunt with the messaging instead of trying to beat around the bush and act like them.
Yeah, if this works, I mean, we're already seeing Bitcoin go up a little bit. I know you're excited about that.
Well, of course.
And we'll see what he does economic-wise, and as far as his other policies go, I mean, I want to start off by saying this. Like, I heard at Thanksgiving dinner from my uncle, we were talking about this guy, Javier Milei, and my uncle was saying, yeah, but he wants to take the Falklands back. He's going to have a hell of a time doing that. And then I heard someone else message me on Instagram after I posted something about Milei, and he said, afuera, which is what I tell my dogs. So it was highly relatable. Whenever I try and get my dogs to go outside, I'm like, afuera. But anyway, they were talking about the Falkland Islands. And so I said, okay, let me just look this up real quick. And with a quick Google search, any mainstream media article will tell you that his exact quote was, we're not going to try and take them by means of violence because we tried that already and we lost. And it's going to be a diplomatic takeover, which the UK Prime Minister said, no, you're not. But we'll see. I mean, money talks. I don't know. Money talks. And if Argentina is going to be a like super capitalist society or country.
Well, part of me is wondering, even though Milei is definitely very different than Trump, he definitely recognizes Trump tactics for the use that they are. Mm-hmm. And is this him doing basically what Trump used to do, where he would say outrageous shit, getting people talking about stupid stuff, and then he would immediately do other things, while people were too busy looking at the stupid stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. But Trump would also saber rattle. Like Trump would threaten military violence.
In the time that this has happened, he's basically reaffirmed that, I'm going to shut down the freaking women's gender and equality department of the government and all those other, what was the other? Oh yeah. And ending the Federal Reserve down there, abolishing the central bank.
Yeah. That's what I was telling my friend. Like any of this talk, as far as like action goes, if it's military action, then I got to question what he's doing as a libertarian trying to provoke some military action. But that was not what he was doing with the talk about the Falklands.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
some of the other criticism I've seen online is his opinions on Ukraine and Israel, which is just pretty much like I guess he supports them, but I
Yeah.
don't think Argentina is really in a position to provide aid, at least that I'm aware of.
Yeah, he's definitely more right leaning. Like if we're comparing him to American standards, like and even Argentinian standards, like definitely a more right leaning guy. That's what I don't know. Mainstream media will label him as a um what super right wing candidate, and they won't mention the libertarian name.
Yeah,
But
they'll avoid that.
yeah,
They don't even want to call Justin Amash a libertarian. Notice they
yeah,
always call him an independent.
yeah. They don't want to get the name out there, so it permeates to the people. They don't want it. They don't want the smoke because when we get a candidate like this, it turns everyone upside down.
Yeah, and part of me wonders with like Israel and all that is how much of that is him turning to the CIA and saying, "Please don't kill me."
Right?
Like, here, I'll give you lip service for whatever the fuck you want as long as you just leave me the fuck alone.
Now that's kind of my thought. I'm like, all right, when's this guy gonna get? You know, and it scares me. It scares me because I want to see how this goes. I want to see how he implements his policies and how he implements repealing back all these bureaucratic institutions.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I
yeah,
feel like if he's in the target of anyone, it's going to be BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa.
right. China even he said he was going to cut ties with economic ties with China, and Xi Jinping was like, "Don't do that. That's going to be a big mistake." But you kind of have to, in order if you want to truly be free of the economic the economic negatives that come with being completely tied to China, like America is. America is overly tied to China when it comes to all of our goods, all of our overseas products are made over there, and it affects everything here. We no longer have a lot of factory jobs that we used to have, and that's apparent.
Oh yeah, no, that's apparent, and frankly, I think there's kind of an element of just not wanting to do business with any socialists or any communists. He's made that very clear upon the campaign trail from videos I've seen, where he does not want any government business to be done with any country that flies the red flag. Which that's probably why Maduro, called him Pinochet, like the new
Hmm.
Pinochet or whatever. And I'm sure Cuba is kind of like son of a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, you can say I don't know. I feel like I'm all for free trade and getting the best price for your citizens as possible. But there does come a certain point when a power that is nefarious has has done so many things, and they have you by the balls at a certain point, and they have to figure out a way to turn the tables and turn the tide against them. And I think I don't know. I think cutting ties with China is the right move as far as economic like not sanctions, but as far as like his country. And I
Well,
don't
I'm wondering who would this hurt more, China or Argentina?
right. That's what I'm trying to gather here because I don't know like the percentage export import for Argentina. I guess I'll do a little Google real quick and see. But um it'd be very interesting for me to see if there's a lot of imports from China, just like America, how they do, and if it's a positive effect on their economy.
Well, from what I understand, China relies a lot on different types of imports. And that's supposedly one of the reasons why they haven't made any strong moves on Taiwan is because, all the US needs to say is, okay, fine, you're cut off from oil and they're fucked.
They would just use their gutter oil.
Yeah,
Everybody
and
poop
part
in
of me
pan.
wonders how much they would then get from Russia.
Everybody poop in pan. It'll be fine. Poop in pan. We sent to refinery. Refinery.
And just like that, Rob's getting canceled.
Hang on. Everybody poop in pan. It'd be
Oh man.
okay. We don't need
Ra-
Argentina.
I mean,
Argentina exports to China. Here we go. I'm looking it up. You got it.
okay, what do we got here?
No, you got it. You got it. Let me look it up and I'll
Oh,
try
okay,
to.
okay, I got you. But Yeah, I for some reason my gut is telling me this would probably hurt China to some degree.
It looks like Argentina exports to China oil, seed, I don't know how to say that word, fruits, grain, seed, fruits, almost $2 billion in 2021. Meat and edible meat, offal, almost 2 billion in 2021. This is all 2021. A lot of cereal. So Argentina exports to China quite a bit here.
Okay, shit. So
So maybe they have some leverage. And let's see, Argentina balance of trade. Yeah, this is stuff I don't understand. But that first graph I understood quite well. But yeah, spirits, wine, vinegar, a lot. Cotton.
okay.
Yeah, they do pretty good here. Let's see trade. This is all about Argentina exports to China. Let me see. Total exports to China 2003 through 2023.
Yeah, this either way, just from what we've seen so far there, that sounds like that would be a hit to BRICS.
It looks like they're saying minus 123.182 US dollars. So maybe China exports more to Argentina.
Really.
Total exports to China US dollars. It went up a lot in August 23 and now okay, if I could share the screen real quick. I know this might be a little boring, but
So is
it
this
had
gonna hurt Timu?
it has gone down. Yeah, it might hurt Timu, guys. We're we're off the train if it hurts Timu. It looks like it's taking a hardcore dip ever since Javier Milei started becoming a real thought for the presidential seat. Straight down. That's afuera.
That's probably
Afuera.
preparation. What you're seeing there,
Right, right, right.
which I hate to say it for the communists part, but that's smart tactically. But still an unavoidable hit. Yeah, no, I I hope, as the guy in the comments there is saying, I really hope they have top level security over there for him.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
But
I
I will
believe he
say
does.
though, this seems to have shaken the Latin American world because Bukele seemed to quickly come and signal his support of Milei. You know about Bukele down in El Salvador?
Um, is that the president that's like really? No, that's Uruguay. No, tell me about Bukele.
No, so long story short, gangs were running amok in El Salvador. You can look up some of the really fucked up accounts out there. Just to give you an idea, one of the ones that I had seen when I was researching it. Imagine you're a father and you have daughters, and one morning you wake up and the gang came by and said, "Hey, your daughter is now going to be the gang leader's girlfriend, and there's nothing you can do. Say goodbye to your family. You resist,
Okay,
everyone gets killed."
okay.
Like it was really
Yeah.
like beyond crazy. And I guess what happened was Bukele got elected as like a I will be somewhat tough on crime guy. And being the politician, he's basically sat down with the gangs and said, "Listen, just be a normal mafia, and we'll give you some degree." And the gangs then basically turned around and did this like crazy massacre where they killed like hundreds of people. And that's when Bukele turned around and said, "Okay, I'm going to unleash the police." And basically, they cracked down on the gangs big time down there. And what's crazy is the murder and crime rates just absolutely plummeted.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
and in that time, now money that would have been given to the gangs being extorted from the populace is now in the populace's hands. So you're seeing an economic boom down there. And Bukele has also been very pro Bitcoin.
I I'm
At one
excited to see that.
And this is I'm also concerned that Bukele might be in the crosshairs of the CIA because he tweeted something recently about creating a third group in this. What I can only assume was him suggesting the idea of a third faction between this whole NATO BRICS thing, and he called it like a Freedom Alliance or whatever.
Hmm. It'll be called. We need to call it something good, like the
I
Freedom
mean, that's
Alliance.
kind of what he was asking was, does that sound like a good name? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
they always come up with something catchy. It's like we'll call
But
ourselves the good guys fighting against bad guys group.
so, funny enough, after Milei won, the president of Colombia posted like this long college essay on Twitter because, of course, leftists always fucking post college essays, and basically saying Milei is terrible and this is the ultra right rising or whatever. And Bukele retweeted with just one simple sentence, and it translated to the following: "Now try saying that without crying."
Oh, crybabies.
It's like, uh, but love
I
him or
found it.
hate him, Bolsonaro is also seems to like Malay.
I found it. So at the top of the list here, exports by country. China exports to the United States more than even
What?
Hong Kong. So
Jesus Christ, how is that even
we're,
possible?
right, we're the top. They are in China, right?
Yeah,
They are a part of China. China exports to us more than it exports to itself, basically. Um, well, just Hong Kong.
yeah.
But
China
anyway,
seems like this crazy deck of cards. Like, I mean,
Argentina's
the House
kind
of
of down here. I mean, they're Argentina's right here. So I mean, not bad.
just not exactly the big thing that was expected.
And it's decreasing, obviously, now in October 2023. And we'll see what happens if he maintains that
Uh,
policy, if they come in with the Chinese money.
yeah, and what's really bizarre here is before all this happened, Argentina was one of the countries trying to join BRICS.
Hmm. That's what I'm wondering. How stable is it? Like, in order to implement like a truly, anarcho-capitalist or even a minarchist system, right? He's gonna have to sustain winning and maybe have a party that sustains winning after he's done.
Well, it seems like the party that he's with has definitely gained some relevance in all of this as well.
Yeah, and you can imagine if everything's positive and things start looking up as far as economics and the middle and lower classes have some money in their pockets. I feel like maybe they'll win some favor, but you never know, man. You never know. I don't even know if the forces in like the United States support this guy. Um, and that's what scares me the most
Well,
because he wants to get on the U.S. dollar.
it might be a case of the lesser evil, where I feel like with the CIA, it's not about ideology; it's about who can we do business with. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like, look at when Donald Trump, under his administration, there was that attempted coup in Venezuela where Guaido went after Maduro. And shit, man, if it wasn't for the chick I was dating at the time, I wouldn't have realized that Guaido was even more left wing than Maduro.
Mm.
And it was just one of those situations where I'm sure the CIA or the U.S. or Trump or whoever was calling the shots there. It was they're looking at this and it's like, sure, he's a socialist, but he's the socialist who will do things we want.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm fully ecstatic about this, and we were watching it for months, like I said. And when we got the news, Mitch was like, "We have to do a celebration." And I was like, "Okay, let's do it Thursday." That was Thanksgiving, so we're
Yeah,
doing
it
it
didn't work
today.
out.
Yeah, it's okay. Um, I it's kind of like a call-in show. If anyone wants to come in and talk about it,
Yeah,
come on
lines
in.
are open. Like we're bringing people on. Ryan said he wanted to come on. I don't know.
Think
We were hoping. We basically just sent this link out to as many people as possible to see. Oh, Jack Lloyd seems to be taking a victory lap right now.
Oh yeah, is he?
Yeah, you want to see why? On the
Yeah,
topic of
yeah.
Javier Milei, since that's what this is.
Show
If
us the
Jack comes on,
volunteerist.
Jack the voluntarist. I think we've had Jack on before.
Yeah, we've
I'm
had Jack
positive.
on.
Okay, yeah, we have. We should have him on again at some point. But yeah, basically, you know how Jack is very into his voluntarist comic book series, and I all I can say is, listen, I love Jack. He's my buddy, but I never would have thought Jack would be the most influential libertarian.
Yo. Hold up.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. That's not
I
that's
don't know
not
if
it.
that's the character that Jack created, but that is just hilarious.
Wait.
I just find
That's
it hilarious.
Javier Milei, right?
Yes, that
Like
is Javier Milei. That is
that's
real.
not photoshopped or anything.
No, it is not. It is dude, there's so many crazy images of this guy. Are you surprised at this point? He
Okay.
was a Rolling Stones, he was in a Rolling Stones cover band and he was a sex coach.
Right. Yeah. And that's how you become president of a country.
I mean, that sounds like a libertarian to me. Oh, also a
Yeah.
soccer player.
John in the chat says U.S. listed shares of Argentinian companies soared on Monday. Yeah, I bet they did. YPF SA posted the best session since they began trading in 1993, up 40%. Banco Macro SA and Grupo Financiero Galicia SA ended the day up 20% and 17%. Yeah, those are solid numbers.
Yeah,
Solid numbers. Can you imagine?
I mean that's why I think that this is one of those situations where the CIA just views him as their someone they can do business with. They
Tucker
probably don't
Carlson
care that he's a libertarian.
Tucker Carlson just interviewed him too. I didn't catch the whole interview. I caught a clip of it. Um,
It
I
was a good
haven't.
interview.
I know you have some clips you wanted to play of Javier, so you want to get to
Yeah,
clipping?
no, I had a few different things here, including just some stuff that will be translated here on the bottom. Where the fuck did it go?
Nice.
Don't you always love when that happens, folks?
Oh yeah. If you're watching this, be sure to like and subscribe. We got this going out to our Twitters and our Facebook and YouTube page. As I pour myself another shot of this Jack Daniels.
No problem. While trying to find this too, I guess I'll bring up some of these facts about Argentina just because to really show how this country had all the potential in the world and it fell from it, and it took from basically hitting rock bottom to elect a libertarian.
The rock bottom.
Well, does rock bottom exist? Like I was having this conversation with some people on Facebook where it's like, it took Argentina kind of hitting a sort of rock bottom. But you think of Michael Malice's example of the Soviet Union, like that was definitely a different type of rock bottom.
My philosophy is, personally, it could always be worse. Like, no matter how bad it is, it could just be worse somehow. You
Yeah.
know? Maybe, I mean, rock bottom is just the lowest you've been, but just, it could always just get worse for you. It's like Job, man. It's like Job.
Yeah. But anyway, just to kind of give you an idea of this fall, towards the beginning of the 20th century, this was a country that was as rich as the US per capita. The GDP grew 6% annually during 43 years up into 1914.
Great
Um,
number.
yeah, and it was actually ranked as one of the fastest growing in the world. Um, it was one of the top 10 wealthiest countries globally in 1914. That probably makes sense then why Eli Cohen, the Mossad spy, he posed as basically an Argentinian playboy in Syria. That would make sense. Just a thought there.
I mean, I would never have a thought like, how do you know all this? How do you fit all this knowledge into your brain? How do you know
Well, for
about
one, the
Argentine
Argentina facts I
spies?
just have here from Culture Critic on Twitter.
Oh, excellent.
It's pretty decent at that. Oh, but the Eli Cohen stuff, that's because Jeffrey Epstein.
Mm.
Like what Eli Cohen did was he was a Mossad spy who posed as a Argentinian playboy. This is like the 50s or the 60s. And he went to Argentina and he went to Syria and he infiltrated the upper echelons of their culture and basically invited all the rich people to sex parties and then proceeded to blackmail them. But it didn't go very well. And that's why we know about him, unlike all these other times that I'm sure they've probably done the same thing. Oh,
I apologize.
oh, you're good. We have one of our first. Oh, that was you. You
was me.
son of a bitch.
I said I apologize.
Oh man. Yeah,
I
no,
mean,
if no one comes on, the mystery man, I really wish that I could have gotten El and Capo on. That would have been something.
He's made an appearance on the Luchadors of Liberty, which is dead.
Yeah, but Elan Capo lives on somewhere. Unfortunately, he didn't respond to any texts.
I mean, has no other libertarian podcast done like a celebration of Javier Milei yet? A
Not from what I've
celebration.
seen. Honestly, I'm surprised I haven't seen a Dave Smith episode on this yet.
I know. Well, he was busy going on Rogan. Is like yesterday, I think.
Yeah,
I listened to pretty much all of that. Um, did a great job. I mean, he basically talked about Israel Palestine the whole time,
yeah.
which I mean, it's important to talk about. That's the thing that's going on right now.
Well, that seems like the hot thing at the moment. And with all kind of the proxy, it seems like there's a lot of different things happening in countries right now where I'm kind of wondering if we're seeing Cold War II play out before our eyes.
I mean, it's been that way. I think it's been that way for a while
Well,
now. With
well,
is
now we
ever
have
since
like aside from Javier Milei, and this is different because these are more like traditionally right wing nationalist type movements. You have the situation in Spain, you have the Netherlands, and now we got Ireland.
Ireland, right? What was going on in Spain? I know Tucker Carlson visited there in like some anti-socialist protest.
So, from what I understand, I haven't looked into the details, so I might get some of this wrong. Basically, the guy who is like their president, prime minister, whatever they have over there, he basically is extradited, the right word for someone who is being pardoned. That's what I'm looking for. He pardoned some Catalan separatists who were involved in something, but I don't know the details. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not exactly Mr. Left Wing Socialist, but I'm generally sympathetic to the idea of Catalan independence as a libertarian.
Yeah, I actually lived in Barcelona for a semester and going
Yeah.
to I mean, it was real. They had Independence Day. I mean, the it's definitely different from the rest of Spain.
Well, yeah, it feels like there's generally a cultural difference. You know what I mean?
Mhm. There is, I mean, because they speak Catalan, it's a different dialect, different words too. It's a little bit harder to understand. It's a little bit rougher. It's almost like Portuguese mixed with like French and Spanish. It's weird as
Yeah,
far as
because they're
like
pretty close to
the
they're pretty close to
sound.
France there too.
Yeah, the sound of it, that's what it kind of sounds like. But Spain's not gonna let Barcelona go. Barcelona's
No.
like one or two on like economically like bringing in money to the country, right? That's like the US letting go of, I don't know, like LA or Dallas or something.
I mean, it'd be like New York leaving. That's what I'm thinking of, or like
Yeah.
Detroit or something.
Barcelona's massive. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a very I can see how there is also kind of a degree of separatism that exists there because, dude, you go to that city, it is like enclosed by the mountains.
Yeah. No, it's got the mountains and the sea and the ocean, like the ocean too. And the ocean, the salinity, I don't know if this is true, but that's what they told me. The salinity of the ocean, um, so much that sharks don't really swim there. So
Huh.
you don't really have sharks in that ocean or shark attacks.
Yeah, but yeah, that's from what first glance, that's what I've seen with Spain. Like, I mean, I like Tucker's reporting, so I'm curious to see how this goes. But
Yeah,
you
well,
know,
I mean, they hold a referendum every single year. That's kind of what that's one of the things they do for their
yeah,
Independence Day. They hold a referendum and every single year, and every single year, the people
it
vote
wins.
separate from Spain.
Yeah, I know. Like, shit, man, I got a Catalan flag somewhere in the closet back there, but
Yeah, I
because of
got a couple
Milei's
extra.
victory, instead today I brought out this one. The good old black and gold, baby.
There you go. And
We
he even
finally won.
nice. He even represent. He like brought out the ANCAP flag and like told people the gold is for the black is for. It's like
Yeah.
he's a real ANCAP as the
Well,
president of a country.
yeah, that's why I'm more excited for this one as compared to some of these other nationalistic ones we're seeing going on, like the Farmers Party in the Netherlands. I mean, I like the idea of the farmers organizing and, telling all the other parties "fuck you," but they seem very, very nationalistic as compared to Millet.
Yeah, not a good look. Not a good look.
Yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, there's. It also has to do with history too. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah.
Like libertarian is almost not even in the conversation, and at least from when I went to like Northern Europe, like it's just not even in the conversation.
No, I don't think so. Which is why I'm so I don't know. I don't know what country has the largest libertarian party, but I gotta figure it's the United States, and we get no traction whatsoever. So that's why I'm like surprised to see this happening at such a big level.
Well, part of me, I've been wondering about Australia's Libertarian Party now too, especially because they recently rebranded from Liberal Democrats to Libertarian. Which, oh, what a perfect time for Ryan to be joining, ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Bunting. But this will be a
What's
fun
going
one
on?
for you to walk in on.
Welcome.
So yeah, from what I understand, the libertarians down in Australia rebranded to Libertarian from Liberal Democrat, and frankly, I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to be affiliated with the party in the UK that supports transgender surgeries for kids.
Oh yeah, this is a zinger.
I don't know if that's the reasoning, but if it is, I totally get it.
I feel like Australia has to have a lot of backlash too because they went super hard on COVID lockdowns and restrictions. They built camps. They came knocked on your door if you posted anything on social media. A lot of countries are doing that. A lot of countries did that during COVID. Um, yeah, Australia was major on these lockdowns, and that's got to face some sort of backlash when they turn around and go, "Oh, just kidding. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, sorry, we did that."
Yeah, I mean, dude, their whole country though is like a country of prisoners and guards.
Once a
Like
prison
near the
colony, always a prison colony.
That's why Georgia's such shit.
They're just returning to tradition.
shit.
Georgia was like a prison colony pretty much too in the United States, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'll Google it real quick just to make sure we.
If not, Atlanta makes a lot of sense.
Oh, Atlanta. I don't know if that's where they started, but yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
Are you fact checking me right now, Ryan?
So it says Georgia wasn't penal in the strict sense, like Devil's Island in French Guiana, but as conceived by its founder, James Oglethorpe, and his trustees in London, Georgia was expressly built on the theory of work release.
There you go. There you go. There's just a whole bunch of like
Georgia was a fucking work release program.
yeah. It's like the restaurant kitchen of the United States, pretty much.
Yeah, everybody's doing coke, but they're working their asses off.
Just like the bar on the corner by
I'm
me.
glad we all got on with the restaurant kitchen analogy there. Everyone was like, yeah, but they make damn good food. They have damn good food in Georgia.
I mean, really, the cocaine is a secret ingredient when you think about it.
Now we know why Shane
It's
Haley
the workhorse.
governor.
Oh man, I haven't heard from him in a while either. Like we should see what he has to say about all this because he made an impact in Georgia running for governor. At least I think.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to get some clips up real quick. Oh my, the Instagram was being a little weird. I have to X out of all these. You said you have Javier Milei clips. I have a clip from Tucker when he interviewed him.
Afuera!
Afuera.
Fuera!
Yeah, tell us how you feel. How do you feel having a libertarian president to look up to, albeit another country?
So, I mean, I did not have an ANCAP getting elected president anywhere on planet Earth on my like lifelong bingo card. So I'm still kind of just like, I'm just taking it all in. I am in no way surprised to see libertarians out there being like, oh, he's not actually an ANCAP. He's not actually libertarian. Oh, he's a Zionist. He converted to Judaism. Like, none of that shit is true. But I never, ever underestimate libertarians' ability to fucking squander something good. So, disappointed, but not surprised.
That's why we're here celebrating, because it is a call to celebration. Like, even, I don't know.
I hate to say it, but if Joe Jorgensen had won, we would be here doing the same thing. But that's never. Let's face it, that never would have happened.
Yeah, no, she didn't have the charisma or wherewithal that Javi has, and that's why he fucking won. There's also the fact that Argentina has just been absolutely destroyed by socialist policy for so long. But I'm hoping that Javier's election can kind of show, like, hey, it can be done, to get those people that'll be like, oh, I like liberty, but they just can't win. And it's like, clearly they can. So I'm hoping that that can kind of prevent us from having to get as fucked as Argentina did, for the people of the country to realize it. But then,
It is a little weird to me though, because I've had a couple socialist friends like message me and go, his non-economic policies are half-baked, or they'll say something like I don't know. I talked to this guy who is an anarcho-communist, and he's read like economics in one lesson and Murray Rothbard and stuff like that. He's like, yeah, economics, I'm on board with that. It's like, what are you talking about? Then what are you not on board? I don't get it.
it's because he wants to defund the fucking, the gender ministry or whatever.
Everything, yeah, I guess so. But you know what? You win some, you lose. I don't like. Fine, defund that. You could just do it on your own.
And they're like, oh, he's pro-choice. That's not libertarian. It's like, actually, libertarians can't agree on what the position is. So
Javier,
that just happens to be his.
I thought
he was anti-abortion
or pro-life. That's what I mean. He's
okay.
pro-life, and they're like, that's not a libertarian position. It's like, there are lots of pro-life libertarians. I consider myself one of them. So it's like,
yeah,
I don't know.
The party's technically split on the issue. Like you can either stance on it and still be a party libertarian, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like the libertarian stance is that regardless of what you feel morally, the state should have nothing to fucking do with it. They shouldn't be funding it, and they shouldn't be banning it necessarily. Though, if me personally, if we were going to have one option, I'd rather it just be banned. But like, yeah, it's like, just get the government out of it. Who cares?
I got Tucker clip right here. Let's see. Let me know if you can hear this or you can't. I had to mess around with my settings.
Has become
audio's good.
Ascendant, really, in the United States, as you may have noticed, with the attendant symptoms you described: massive public debt levels, increasing poverty, disorder, crime, filth, and ugliness. Argentina is at the end stage of that. Argentina is now a poor country because of those policies. What advice would you give to Americans having lived it?
Que nunca abracen las ideas del socialismo, que nunca se dejen seducir por el canto de las sirenas,
The siren song,
de la justicia social, que no se dejen atrapar por esa frase nefasta que donde hay una ansiedad nace un derecho, pero que eso no se hace solo. Para eso hay que estar preparado y hay que dar la batalla cultural día a día, y que hay que tener cuidado porque ellos no tienen problema en meterse adentro del Estado y aplicar las técnicas de Gramsci, seduciendo a artistas, o sea, la cultura, seduciendo a los medios de comunicación, o metiéndose en los contenidos de la educación. Hay que tener mucho cuidado, hay que cortarles el financiamiento y hay que hacerlos competir a la par, y al mismo tiempo hay que concientizar a los empresarios de que es necesario que Milton Friedman decía que la función social del empresario era ganar dinero. Bueno, con eso solo no alcanza. Parte de la inversión tiene que ser invertir en los defensores de las ideas de la libertad para que los socialistas no puedan avanzar, porque si no lo hacen, ellos se van a meter en el Estado y desde el Estado van a imponer una agenda que de largo plazo va a terminar destruyendo todo lo que toca. Entonces, ahí, digamos, es necesario un fuerte compromiso de todos los creadores de riqueza para luchar contra el socialismo, contra el estatismo, y entender que si eso no se hace, los socialistas siempre van a seguir intentando. Porque, ¿cuál es el punto? Como ellos intentan
What is
vivir
el
de los
punto?
demás sin trabajar, ellos son incansables en buscar esto. Porque su leitmotiv en la vida es vivir de los otros. Entonces ellos no ceden nunca en este.
They just want to live off others. That is the whole. They are endless in that pursuit. Yeah, he's exactly right, and he's. I like what he said about making it fair, because as we found out with the Twitter files, they're paying, obviously infiltrating the media and social media, and then you see the influence everywhere in celebrities and pop culture. That's you don't even have to mention that.
Yeah, it's downright cultural Marxism.
Yeah, he hit the nail on the head there. And like like you said, with the Twitter files, and then now we have Elon suing Media Matters for misrepresenting basically all of the relevant data on X to scare away advertisers. Like, these people do not play by the rules, and that's why all these people that were like, "Oh, Javier's not a real libertarian," like all the purity test type people, because I saw someone that was like, if he was a real ANCAP, why would he want to be president? And it's like, this is the thing. If anyone watching is familiar with,
This is why we suck.
yeah,
For real.
if anyone's familiar with Pete Quinones, like, the reason he no longer calls himself a libertarian is because he's like, libertarians are afraid to wield power. Like, you have to have a certain aspect of Machiavellianism to your approach to be like, I'm going to do this thing because it's what should be done, and not be afraid to piss off a few people in the mix. And it's like, these people will be the most principled libertarians on the rail car.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Before you hopped on here, I was kind of bringing up how, speaking of being Machiavellian, how much of what we've seen from opinions that we don't, wouldn't exactly be too hot on, like dollarizing instead of going to the gold standard, how much of that is basically kissing the ring of the United States and saying, listen, just leave me the fuck alone. I'll do the bare minimum of wherever the hell you want. Like, there's an element of being Machiavellian there. Realizing what situation you're in and realizing what levers you can pull.
I suspect that is almost like a literal personal safety move on Javier's part, where he's like, all right, well, if I say I'm going to switch to the dollar, maybe the CIA won't fucking kill me.
Before you got on, we were talking about this. We're like scared that he's going to get smashinated.
I am very worried. I'm very worried until December. But I've also seen, I wish I had the clips handy, but so he mentions dollarization kind of as like a stepping stone. I think he's going to do what I believe it was Ecuador did and basically move to Bitcoin. Dollarization is basically kind of like just like a middle ground to get people off of the crashing peso, because it's a dead currency. There's no bringing it back. So he's like, we'll switch to the dollar so that, at least comparatively, the currency that the people of Argentina would be using would have significantly more value than the Argentine peso, and then kind of work into Bitcoin and everything. And then you have decentralized currency and all that.
And then the point about just kind of getting the CIA like, the conspiracy part of me wants to believe you 100% that, because every president that's tried to get off the dollar or wean off the dollar, we know we've seen what happens with that.
Right? I mean, shit, Gaddafi.
Yeah.
Like, please don't make me into Muammar Gaddafi. I don't want a bayonet shoved up my ass.
Yeah, literally.
So maybe it's kind of I throw you a bone, even though I understand, like, because like, he's referencing Milton Friedman. He understands the U.S. economy. He probably understands the Federal Reserve and all of our politics just as much as Argentinian politics, if he's been such a student of libertarianism, I think. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the disconnect with like the ultra principled libertarians, versus we're literally watching practical libertarianism in practice, which is where he holds the philosophy, but he also understands that he's ultimately playing a political game. We're not in a vacuum. We're not in Ancapistan, so he has to play the game to some degree.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how it rolls out. But like, even it's really funny to me how even practical libertarianism comes off to like everyone in the world when you see him going afuera, out. He's like all of these. He had the massive map before that one board of the whole state structure. He was like, this is the structure of the state. It's evil. It's in every part of our economy. And then he goes to the board where it's like just the top of all of those. And he just rips them all off. Can we get that clip? Because it just pumps me up.
The Afuera? I have that one.
It is funny now that you mention that like what we perceive as kind of like a more even-handed practical approach is like, yeah, we're gonna cut all of these departments.
Yeah, it's like, why is it even there? But then like I could see like a socialist or someone watching it going, oh no, just like
oh dude, it's hilarious to see people who don't even know what libertarianism is just finally having to encounter an ideology that is outside their realm. Okay, here's the image here of him just ripping everything down, starting off with the Ministry of Sports and Tourism. That sounds necessary.
Unnecessary.
Turismo y Deporte, afuera. Ministerio de Cultura, afuera. Ministerio de Ambiente y Desarrollo Sostenible, afuera. Ministerio de las Mujeres y Género y Diversidad, afuera. Ministerio de Obras Públicas, afuera. Aunque te resistas. Ministerio de Ciencia y Tecnología e Innovación, afuera. Ministerio de Trabajo, Empleo y Seguridad Social, afuera. Ministerio de Educación, Adoctrinamiento, afuera. Ministerio de Transporte, afuera. Ministerio de Salud, afuera. Ministerio de Desarrollo Social, afuera. Se acabó el curro de la política. ¡Viva la libertad, carajo! Y deporte.
I love that ending. Long
¡Viva la libertad, carajo!
Yeah, I want that sound bite.
Oh my god. That's the thing. He's someone who clearly has figured out how to do the Trump-like character, but to use it to bring liberty.
Yeah, he did it effectively. He was flamboyant and over the top, but he did so in a way that really resonated with people. And you know what? I do have to say one thing that I'm worried about is because of like the sheer drastic changes that he ultimately needs to make in his country. There's going to be a pain period of at least a few years. Mm-hmm. And people are going to go, look, see, they elected a libertarian and it doesn't work. And it's like, yeah, but undoing the damage that has been done for literal decades isn't going to happen overnight. So like now there's going to be a microscope on this guy. And anytime there is anything even remotely negative, the corporate press is going to take it and they're going to be like, ultra right-wing MAGA Trump supporting Javier Milei, the new president of Argentina, fucking stepped wrong or something. Like they're gonna take everything they can. Thankfully, the trust in media nowadays is like even on the left, they're like, yeah, those motherfuckers are lying to us. So like there's that, but I am kind of concerned that it's going to be like, yeah, it's not going to happen overnight. And the long-term success that Argentina is going to see, I think, is going to be incredible. But anytime there's anything that they can pick at, they're like vultures just waiting for like that one little thing that they can just blow up into a fucking headline storm.
That's when we have to do the best job of saying, like, it's like Ron Paul always said, or like any libertarian economist always said, it's like a hangover. Or like, someone getting off drugs. It's going to take a while to get over the withdrawals. They're going to be like, look at him, he's shaking. We're gonna be like, that happens whenever you try and get better.
Recovering statism. Yeah.
Well, this is kind of funny that we were talking about the Falklands earlier then, because Margaret Thatcher had a quote about that taking the medicine will make you ill, but is necessary for getting cured. Something to that extent.
Mm-hmm. But it is. I do have a clip I wanted to share because I just saw this for the first time the other day. Now that I mentioned Ron Paul, I had it on Instagram here. Shared it to our little.
On the topic of Ron Paul, I got a clip right after this, but go on.
All right,
nice.
It's so CNN. They're asking a military. I think he's either a veteran or active. Looks like he's got the uniform on, so we'll say active.
Is this the guy that they cut the feed on?
Yes. So here it is.
Oh,
Out there have been saying that Ron Paul would be very dangerous for this country because he wants to bring troops like you back from your posts from all over the world.
Well, I think it would be even more dangerous to start nitpicking wars with other countries. Someone like Iran, Israel is more than capable of.
All right, we just lost our connection, unfortunately.
Oh,
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 you don't say.
how quaint.
So,
I think we should nitpick what.
dude, I remember when that happened. Like, I was red pilled when that happened, and Ron was so fucking awesome that he brought that guy on stage at his event later that night.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's even Jon Stewart was like forcing the hand of anyone in media whenever, like, at the Daily Show, when they showed the Iowa polls, and Ron was like either first or second, but they had him at the bottom, and they didn't even mention his name, and they were like, and so is in third place, and he's like, behind who? Behind who? Tell us, what's his name? So
yeah, I
don't know.
remember that. Romney in first, Santorum in third.
There you go. Yeah, that's who it was.
Behind who?
But like, that's my thing. Like, is
So-
the American media machine so unstoppable right now? Like the fascist handshake between the government and the media in America is so out of hand right now that we can't even get to the point of Argentina, because I feel like maybe Argentina's media covered this election a little bit more fair, but I don't know, because the polls were bullshit the whole
So-
time too.
We've all seen footage of like Milei supporters and like these massive crowds and everything, right? And that's why I'm glad you bring that up, Rob, because
Very large crowds.
this next clip
Huge.
I have is
They're the biggest
from-
crowds.
That's so good. That was
The bestest-
that was
the
really
bestest.
good. Ryan, you got a good Trump impression.
way better than mine.
He could not bring the kind of crowds that I bring. Let's be honest here.
I think it might have been a record.
So just for a comparison here, here's Milei first.
Si abrazamos las ideas de la libertad, vamos a volver a ser potencia. Por lo tanto, tengamos fe, recobremos la fe en nosotros, porque nosotros lo podemos hacer. Vamos con todo lo que no se puede hacer. Vamos, viva la libertad, carajo. Viva la libertad, carajo. Viva la libertad, carajo. Y mañana a trabajar para poner de pie a Argentina. Muchísimas gracias. ¡Viva la libertad, carajo!
So compare that to
That is
then.
life.
This is some footage from the Ron Paul revolution.
Oh, nice.
This is from the 2008-2012 timeframe. I don't remember which one, but thanks to Liam McCollum here on Twitter. We see like the crowd there is just going wild. You know what I mean? Like there's an energy there that it's like an it factor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And like that's something that LP candidates generally struggle with, is that it factor, that charisma. It's why Ron DeSantis's campaign has been a fucking dumpster fire, because he doesn't have it. He doesn't have the it factor. Like,
They're like, Ron, you're slipping in the polls. He's like, should I put on the 3-inch heels?
yeah. Slipping in the polls, let me slip into my 3-inch heels.
You'll see when I break out into my boots, my cowgirl
Just
boots.
new boot goofing.
Yeah.
Goofing in my new boots.
Walking.
Yeah, like he doesn't have it. He's very dry. He doesn't have any energy or anything.
But see, he's
Javier was
also
out there with
so-
an active chainsaw, just
Right.
like, I'm going to carve through the state. And like,
Yeah.
I mean, it was getting me hyped. I'm like, dude,
So-
they need this man. And
We
when
are.
I found out he won, I
Yeah,
nearly
that's
shit
why we're
myself.
here. That's why we're
So-
here, because we're all hyped.
Are there any libertarians in our country that you think could pull off that level?
Wait, I do want to say that Ron DeSantis would never do that, because he is a statist. He is an
Yeah.
establishment state. That's why they got a debate between him and Gavin Newsom going on here in a few days, I think. It's like, who set that up? I wonder who set that up to the two main parties. I think probably
that whole thing is like the Overton window of allowable conversation.
right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
Tom Woods is they're going to catch him on arson charges for that debate.
For real. But I don't know, man. Like I look at all the candidates right now, and it's like maybe I actually will go out of my way to clip this later. But for fuck's sake, Spike Cohen, jump in, man.
Yeah. So like obviously Dave Smith's not happening. I do think he could do it because he's very good friends with Scott Horton. So he's really like he's extremely well versed on war and with the whole Israel thing going on right now.
You're talking about Spike?
Dave Smith.
Okay, Dave.
So like he's great on that. Spike has the it factor. He has the charisma. He could do it. Outside of that, I'm not really sure. I love Mike Rechtenwald, and he did really well on Timcast IRL. He's been getting better with his public speaking. He's not doing so many ums and uhs, which we're all guilty of. But this is just a fucking podcast. But yeah, Mike is great. I hope that he can find a way to kind of pull that energy, that Ron Javier type thing that we're seeing here.
Yeah, policy wise, I will say I like Mike a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mike's the man.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
He's fantastic, and I'm sure he would fucking hate this comparison that I'm about to say. When I was still blue-pilled, before I even knew what libertarian was, I kind of saw Obama choosing Joe Biden as like the younger guy choosing the old wise man to kind of have him be with him on this journey. In a way, I feel like Rechtenwald could be that same guy for someone like Spike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's just my opinion. As long as Spike isn't in, I'm totally on the Rechtenwald wagon.
You're right, because having Spike be the VP candidate for Joe Jorgensen, like that whole campaign felt like it should have been flopped. Like she should have been VP.
We created a Frankenstein campaign, dude.
It was weird. It was so weird. She like separated from him. It was like they weren't running.
Well, because she didn't want Spike as her VP, dude. Like, you guys were both at that convention in 2020, right?
Florida
and Spike, the online convention when Spike got that glorious Zoom convention.
Yeah, that was held in Orlando. I think I was actually in person at that one.
Okay, nice. Well, if you remember on the Zoom call before we broke and eventually went to Orlando, Joe gave her speech kind of talking about both candidates, and it was like there was such this vibe of like, yeah, Spike's good. We're both from North Carolina, but John Mons, this guy is great. You should all vote for John without actually saying vote for John Mons. Like,
well, I mean, John Mons, to be fair, he is from my hometown, Pensacola, and
he's from Detroit too, man. That's why I like John. John's great.
Yeah, and I talked to John. I think at the 2020 election convention, Florida convention, and I liked what he had to say. He homeschooled all his kids. Like, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's obviously black, and so that's probably a factor for Joe Jorgensen.
I mean, real talk. If Hornberger had won the campaign, I was ready to vote for Bonds over Spike. But then when Hornberger lost, I was like, fuck it, let's vote for Spike.
Spike is more charismatic, though, and obviously gets a lot more attention. I will say that, which is something I don't know. I will say, Rec. I would love if Rec just fixed that, and I don't know how you do it. I think you just kind of have it.
I mean, I'm like looking at Spike right now. Like, this is like, dude, this is your call to action in the hero's journey, man. Come on.
Yeah, when you look at all the candidates, and I want to speak carefully here because I do have a chance to host the presidential debate here at the Florida convention. So I don't want to say
I'll say whatever I want, man, because I'm not going to be at this convention. I'll go all at it.
I think there's some issue with Gene Epstein hosting it because he endorsed Rec. I want to say I would vote for any libertarian candidate over Trump or Biden any day of the week. I think the guys that we have are all good. I have my suspicions about a few candidates, but as far as their performances, I've seen nothing but good things policy-wise. It's like we're all preaching to the fucking choir, honestly. So it's like, well, let's stop infighting so much. John in the chat says Milei's dogs are named Rothbard and I think Friedman, which is fucking sick.
Based.
Based
I know about
dogs.
Rothbard. I couldn't remember what the other one was.
There you go. Bully Tasha's husband to run. Is that what you said? Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Yeah. Spike has a black wife.
She's an absolute sweetheart. I've
Take
had
that,
the pleasure
lefties.
of meeting her like twice.
Take
And
that,
she's an
lefties.
absolute sweetheart. So
No, she
that's why
loves the
he's not
UFC.
interested in running, because he's
Ever-
like, I can just stay home with her.
Ever
Fuck
get to
off.
watch
I mean,
UFC with her?
I've told Spike and Tasha this personally, and first time I saw Tasha in 2020, I was like, "Who the fuck is that?" And then I see her go to Spike, and I'm just like, "Damn, I did not know that dude had that type of game."
Yeah, he's
Like-
packing. He's obviously packing.
Packing, and he just had, dude. There's another prominent libertarian
I was
female.
talking about guns, by the way. I was talking about guns.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
But there's another prominent libertarian female who I won't name, who I was hanging out with at the Tom Woods 3000 event. That like Spike Cohen came up, and I even said like, I that dude's got game, and something she just went like, man, if I ever got that man alone in a room, like I swear to God, she would just like rip off his clothes, man. Like Spike's in danger, man.
I think I know who you're talking about, but I'll save it.
Yeah, we don't need that heat.
That's funny. We got an update. We got an update here. The Pentagon fails its annual audit for the 6th year in a row. I thought it was like the 7th or 8th year in a row by now, honestly. But yeah, that happened again. So another reason why we need an anarcho-capitalist president.
Well, the Pentagon just fills in C for every answer, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Or just does a 9/11 on the room that all the records.
Oh no. The
Which is
records
so
disappeared. I
gotta-
will be back real quick, just topping off.
Okay, I'll save the clip. I'll save the clip then. This is kind of I want to see what Ryan has to say about Alex Jones' new clip.
Alex Jones.
I want to say I want to put this guy. This guy obviously has more followers than us, but this guy's hilarious. He's a comedian, and I think he's like more of a right-wing leaning comedian, but he's hilarious.
I mean,
Moses
if someone's funny, they're funny.
Tabi, yeah.
Person who was very close
This Clinton friend found dead in accidental bludgeoning.
with the Clintons
It happens
has
too much.
lost their life this morning. There is a reasonable explanation for why a toaster oven fell into his bathtub. Believe it or not, there was actually a small earthquake, and it made this toaster fall off the counter, went up to the stairs to the 2nd floor, 90-degree corner here, back upstairs to the 3rd floor, came back downstairs, over to him, but it stopped right here, back down to the 2nd floor, into the spare room, opened up a panty drawer, up the stairs, over across. The toaster actually bludgeoned him. Boom, f*** you. Honestly, I don't even think he was electrocuted. He may have been killed by the bludgeoning and not the electrocution, but it was just a tragic accident. It really was. Another person.
Yeah,
Accidental
hilarious.
bludgeoning.
Yeah, dude, he posts so much funny shit, and it's all based. I want to find the one that oh god, I don't know. Oh, he posted this one. This was the one I wanted your take on, because this was somewhat serious. Alex Jones, saying that I guess the president someone declared war on America.
Emergency alert. The leader of Hezbollah, who reports directly to the Ayatollah Khomeini in Iran, in the Islamic dictatorship, the Islamic Shiite dictatorship, has declared war on the United States. And it said that the United States is behind everything Israel is doing. Now, whether you think that's accurate or not, it doesn't matter. War has been declared upon the United States and the people of America by Hezbollah, that is sock puppeting almost all the other Islamic terror organizations. And they have millions of people in Europe that are military-age men.
I'm gonna go ahead and cut that up, because I don't know when that was taken, but that is kind of a warning. And Alex Jones, take everything he says with a grain of salt, but that is kind of scary to me.
So I remember when Alex Jones got war with Iran wrong. So that's why I'm wondering if this is that same clip, but I'd have to know when this is from.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Take it with a grain of salt. But it was posted on this obviously a satirical account, this funny account. Like
Well, there was a time back in like 2013 or 2012 where he said war with Iran was going to happen in 3 weeks. It's imminent. It's going to happen, and then it never happened.
Well, General Wesley, whatever his last name is, he said the plan was to start with Afghanistan and Iraq, and then the last country that we were going to dethrone from their regime was going to be Iran. So this would be sticking with the plan.
It makes sense.
Whether it happens or not, I don't think it'll happen right now, but
they never did get through Syria like they wanted.
I mean, if the leader of Hezbollah is calling for war, then you don't really need two sides. It's like if someone declares war, then there's war. Mitch, you'll have to open that. My Facebook is currently suspended.
Even though I am frozen, I'm still here.
Yeah, you are froze. I don't know if you want to just remain froze. You look like you're just mad at me playing Alex Jones.
I don't even know what happened. No, I love Alex. Alex is great. He exposed Bohemian Grove.
Yeah.
But I got Ryan's meme here. We're going to the edge, baby.
That's pretty good.
Oh man.
So, wait, you don't support Israel? No, I do not.
No. I don't really like anyone over there. Everyone just seems awful.
Yeah.
Until there's a libertarian faction, I'm just.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know. It feels like that whole region has just been like nothing but conflict for like thousands of years.
Dude, I went down a rabbit hole seeing if there were any libertarian factions in that region. The only thing I could find was like some kind of classical liberal party in Turkey that their symbol was a dolphin, but I don't know what happened with them. So they might not even be around anymore.
We pick a dolphin because it is cool and swim.
Fuck you, dolphin.
Yeah, I
want to know why the dolphin.
I got sent this meme. Apparently, Pauly D is on Fox News talking about inflation.
Holy shit.
Bro, like things are getting way too expensive, bro.
And then they had Fabio on Fox Business talking about Israel Hamas. They're bringing us the best political commentators. Just absolutely.
I need to know what Jada Pinkett Smith thinks of Israel Palestine.
Too much hair. Probably thinks way too much hair. Not enough alopecia.
I don't think any of her son's friends live there, so she's not interested.
You want to get in Will Smith conspiracy? There's some guy. I saw a clip coming out. This guy talking about he saw Will Smith getting railed by like P. Diddy and someone else.
Fucking
yeah, we don't want to get into that. We don't want to talk about the Fresh Prince.
I don't know. All I know is I saw a picture of his rival from Fresh Prince and the guy who played his rival, and he has like a normal family that looks all wholesome, and it's just like, fuck, dude, he won.
Yeah.
Right? You talking about his brother? You're talking about Carlton?
Yeah, I think it was Carlton.
Yeah, that's not his rival. That was his brother.
I never watched Fresh Prince.
Technically his brother. It was more like his cousin. It was his cousin. He was living with him though.
Either way,
but you know how they are though. Like black people will be like, "Oh yeah, my cousin," and it's like,
my cousin.
Is it your actual cousin or is it a really close friend? But Carlton was actually his cousin.
Yeah,
my brother.
Was his brother? Yeah, it was his brother.
So when you say your brother,
I mean, I love Fresh Prince back in the day, but we're coming up on an hour 10. Thanks for joining us, Ryan. I don't know if you want to continue the party, Mitch. You're all frozen.
I'm frozen.
Just unplug and replug your fucking camera.
Your replug.
I don't know what it is. This thing's built into the tablet, so.
So the important thing is, I want to know where all of the people from Legends of the Hidden Temple that could not assemble the Silver Monkey in the Shrine of the Silver Monkey. I want to see where they are.
Where they are, yeah.
I want to get them all in a room because I guarantee they are all fucking abject failures.
Yeah. I always felt like I could. I was like, I'm fast.
I could do that. I could do that.
Climb and find all the pieces and get it back to my team. You know, I feel like I could assemble everything that needed to be assembled on Legends of the Hidden Temple.
I feel like we all think that until we're in the middle of it. Like, it's kind of like a game of chess where you notice all the things that the person who isn't playing doesn't notice.
Kind of, but then again, it's kind of like I don't think I could ever do good on Wipeout. It's like
But,
I know
like-
that's designed to wipe out.
So like the silver monkey though, however, like the biggest problem is like the kids would always have like the stomach facing the wrong way and or like the head facing the wrong way. So it's like,
Have you not
all right,
seen the show before?
So it's like all right, you have the feet there. The stomach is facing towards you, the feet are facing out, and then you have the head facing out. It's like just spin the middle piece. And Kirk Fogg, bless his heart, he's trying to not be a dick to these kids. If I hosted that show, I'd be like, you fucking idiot, turn the stomach around.
You fucking retard.
Inside
you
Out,
fucking
Inside Out.
retard.
Nope. That's a show that I miss. I also miss American Gladiators, even though that documentary came out about it, which was kind of hard. It was an awesome documentary. I miss that show. I used to love that.
I didn't see the documentary, but I heard like the kind of like the big thing was that a lot of them were making like $5 a day to go like bust their asses.
And they started doing steroids and stuff. They were like, we started getting really like we didn't know how big it was gonna get, and then it just took off. And then we had some dudes come in doing steroids. And then they were talking about their like favorite regular contestants that would come in, that if you were good enough at being a regular contestant and you won, you got to become an American Gladiator like the next year. Yeah. And they kind of highlighted those people as well. Off the rails. I have to go attend wedding activities. I don't know if you want to keep the episode rolling or not, but
I'm good to wrap it up here because I really got to take the dogs out here too.
Okay, he's not even at the mic. So yeah, Ryan.
I'm here. Can't you hear me?
Yeah. Okay, it just sounded like you were taking the dogs.
You're just you were just physically away from your microphone.
He's using the frozen screen as a distraction.
It's the greatest excuse because my laptop ran out of juice and I had to go grab the charger.
Ran out of juice.
But anyway, I guess we'll do our final plugs here. Go follow at Mitch Connor JLo. Check out 1776swag.com for all the great Javier Milei merch. But also, aside from all of that, go check out LPF merch because lpfmerch.org. We got the new Christmas design coming out here soon that yours truly made.
Yep. And I apparently had my name as Mitch Connor the whole time.
You did. I didn't want to say anything because I thought it was a meme.
No, it's because when we were coming on, I restarted it, and I guess whenever I restarted it, it erased my name and put it back to Mitch's.
When I log in, it's usually your name too from college football.
Yeah, we have to always change it. We use the same account for several different podcasts. So go follow me or Vincent Comedy on X and Instagram. Facebook's no longer happening right now. We'll see if we can get it back. There's nobody to talk to at all. But yeah, go follow that and College Football Extravaganza on Swampcast Network as well. It's coming up on the end of the season, so we'll be doing some off-season stuff, but not as frequently. But today, this is the last week regular season college football. So if you're into that, give me a follow there.
And real quickly, I just want to say, go blue.
It is a big week. It's a big week. Your first real game. First real game all
Fuck
season.
Ohio State.
I'm with you, but you guys like cheated. Like you stole signs. You stole signs.
Everyone fucking does that shit.
Yeah, but
we've seen throughout the week. It's like
they paid a guy to go to 33 different games.
Yeah, and other teams have done that too.
At 11 different schools. But like Michigan also sold the signals to like South Carolina last year, or gave them to South Carolina, so that they would beat Tennessee and Clemson and knock them out of the playoffs. That's dirty. That is dirty. That is manipulating the system.
Yeah, and guess what? Everyone else is doing it. And also, you're welcome, South Carolina.
Well, no, that's why you guys lost to TCU, because they were like, they're stealing signals. We're just going to mix our signals up and mess them up. That's why you lost to TCU, got obliterated last year in the national championship. All right, anyway, that's college football talk. Follow college.
Go
football.
Go follow us.
Have me on there someday. We can fight about this.
Yeah, we can fight. I mean, if Michigan makes it into the playoffs, we'll have you on as a Michigan fan.
I'm down for it.
Ryan, you got anything to plug?
Yeah, don't follow me anywhere unless you want to end up on a watch list. just subscribe to the Swampcast and maybe check out my boy Dave Casey's podcast, Dave versus Goliath. It's pretty lit.
It's super lit.
Thank you, fellas.
Thank you. That'll do it. Thanks for tuning in and celebrating the presidential victory in Argentina for our libertarian anarcho-capitalist.
Viva la libertad, carajo!